Today, we're talking about lions. Lions are carnivores, meaning they eat other animals. They have adaptations such as specialized teeth for consuming their prey, strong claws, and keen eyesight. Lions are social animals, meaning they stay in a group called a pride. Here at Lion Country Safari, we have a large pride of lions. We would like to give you a behind-the-scenes tour.
So, this is how you make lion diets. First off, we start off with a big 50-pound beef bin. It's full of cow beef. It has some charcoal on it. I don't know if you can see that black stuff right there. That charcoal is just notify humans that it is not for human consumption, mainly for animals. Alright, so I have everything set up here to make diets for all of our 16 lions. Basically, we have a few bins and we label their names and how much pounds of meat they get. Each lion is weight managed, so we weigh them. Depending on their weight, if they're overweight, they get only let's say 3.5 pounds for Savannah. She is very heavy, heavy girl. But then someone like Sita, she gets 5 pounds because she's medium weight. She's very healthy. And if any lion is underweight or is losing weight, we always increase their diet in case they need. But all of our lions are very healthy. So we have a few bins. We have some pans as well. Let's get started. So, usually takes a few days to thaw out 50 pounds of beef. It takes a while, but once it's thawed, it's nicely pulled apart. It takes a while sometimes. It's hard to pull apart, it's still a little icy, but it thaws out just in time for feeding time, which is perfect. So here's a nice big chunk of meat. Let's see how much this weighs. 12-pounder. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get 7 pounds out of this. It's also very important to keep our knives very sharp. A dull knife will cause accidents, so you have to make sure we always sharpen our knives and make sure they're nice and sharp. This is a 4-pounder. I need a 4-pounder, so this works out perfect. This goes to Saba and her bin over here. And this is a 7-pounder. A little bit over, so I can trim off a little bit of beef. And this 7-pounder is a lot of beef, and that goes to one of our thinner girls, but they're very healthy. That goes to Paka. Now, because beef has been frozen, we do add a certain supplement. So it has vitamins, such as vitamin C, all kinds of supplements that they need in their diet. So it's called Meat Complete, and we put this on their beef in the mornings like a rub, as if you would put spices on a steak or something. And it provides all the supplements they need. Also, as you can see, there's only 11 diets that I'm making right now. The rest of the diets are actually for the younger lions. Okay, so all the young lions, they get this 5-pound log. It's very important for them. And the runt of the young group of the young girls, her name is Zuri, and she actually gets 6 pounds. So we cut up a whole 5-pound log, and every day she gets an extra pound of it. This is just because she's a little smaller than the other 2 sisters, and she's very tall as well, so she kind of needs that extra poundage of meat to put on her bones. But she's very beautiful and very healthy, so we give her an extra pound for her. Also, extra protection besides a very sharp knife, not a dull knife is a special glove that we use, just in case, you know, we don't want a finger to get in the way of our knives, because we are cutting a big hunk of meat. So I want to make sure we're nice and safe and while we do our jobs. Oops. So let me cut off a little bit more to get another 7-pound piece of beef. This process can get a little bit messy, as you can tell. It is all raw, and sometimes it can be more juicy than other days. It's important for the lions to get everything that's on the beef, including the fat. So, kind of make it a butterfly so it's easy to eat. Some beef. Also, it's really important to make sure that if you smell bad beef, you can also like look at it. If it might have like a gray tint to it, we do not want to feed that to the lions. So we make sure all the beef is very healthy and red. So we also make sure that we smell the beef. And it smells very good.
What are you doing today, Christina?
Well, good morning. First of all, we are going to set up the field right now for the day. Today the lions get toys. It's just an object that they like to play with, so it can vary from cylinders to balls. They love to roll around balls, and some branches as well, logs they like to stretch on. So yeah, let's get out and we're gonna clean some waters and set up the field and see how that goes. All right, so we're gonna walk to the automatic water that we have in the field. We have 2, so the lions are never without water. It gets dirty throughout the day, so we like to scrub it, and we do like to clean it with soap and bleach and everything too. Make sure they have nice fresh water for the day. There's hot water. So as you can see, I have a bunch of toys in my truck. We have barrels, a PVC pipe, some sticks and logs, cylinders. As you can see, they love to play with it. It's all nice and marked up with their teeth and their claws. And they will have some fun. So, nice box I can put over here. So this is just object manipulation. Basically, they like to play with different objects, and like I said before, they roll around balls and everything, and they'll drag basically big pieces of toys as if they'll drag prey in the wild. So yeah. Pretty cool. Alright, we're going to use this pill, or just a toy. As you can see, check out those marks in there. They like to rip that up and hold on to it and carry it around the field. So we'll just put it up here and they'll knock it down later, hopefully. So just yesterday, we had a big black tub out here. And one of our girls, Zima, she actually takes it and she drags it. And this is a pretty heavy tub, but she drags it as if it's nothing. So, like in the prey, they can drag prey in the wild that they catch, and they end up dragging it sometimes. And it's a very good naturalistic way of exhibiting that natural behavior with the toys sometimes. And this goes for some other different enrichments too, but mainly the toys is pretty cool to see that. Okay, so as you can see, I am pulling out this big PVC pipe. It has a few holes in it. Sometimes we like to stick palm frond branches in it, and they like to rub on that when it's all sticking out, or we even put food in it, so it's kind of like a puzzle feeder. So if it's like laying down, let's say, and we put some food in it, sometimes they actually stick their heads almost in it a little bit, and they try to get it out with their paws. So yeah, that's pretty fun. really fresh, as you can see. It is very stinky, but they love to rub their head all in it. They love it. So now we're gonna go clean the second water that we have over by another shelter and make sure that water is also very clean for today. We do this every single day, make sure their water is fresh and nice and clean. So here I set up my barrel. Sometimes they can go under it, knock it down, check it out. If there's food in it on different enrichment days that we do food, provide food, they like to knock it down, see what they can get out of it. It's called foraging. So now I'm gonna set up the yard. Some natural toys. Here's another red cylinder. Actually, this red cylinder, we gave it to one of the host stock keepers, and they put it into the exhibit where the coolon are, and so it's going to be nice and smelly for the animals. So it's another scent for the lions to check out.
So what is your favorite part of the day?
Well, my favorite part of the day is the whole day, to be honest. I absolutely love my job. To be in the presence of such an incredible animal and creature, it's beautiful and breathtaking, and to be able to understand and see their natural behaviors and their beautiful personalities and different characteristics between each one, it's really exhilarating, and it's a dream come true, to be honest. I've always followed my dreams, and I think everybody should follow their dreams because they do come true. And yeah, and to see, it's rewarding to see after we train an animal to have them give us their side for injections and everything, and just to see their gears turning and thinking while they're training, and the process that we do it, it's rewarding to see their improvement, and it's all just really rewarding. So I love it.
You may notice the magnificent mane that the male lions have. It is theorized that this is an adaptation. This mane helps protect the vital neck area. When two competing males fight with one another, it serves as a level of protection. So Kelly, what is it that you do here at Lion Country Safari?
I'm lion keeper, so half my day is spent sitting in a truck and just watching over lions, making sure, just keeping record of them, what they're doing, who they're interacting with, lion-wise, and also looking at my surroundings, looking at the different animals, making sure, they're not crossing over into sections we're not supposed to be in, not too close to our section, but also watching very many cars that you see here. So the other part of my day is spent cleaning, making diet. Really excited. And training.
Earlier that morning, lion keepers were busy preparing the day's enrichment. Bones in a bag, actually. Kelly's now going to explain as to why lions get enrichment.
Well, every day the lions get a different form of what we call enrichment, which is something for them to do. It encourages their natural behaviors, lets them forage for them. They do get fasted one day a week, so do eat quite a bit every other day. And we actually have a calendar set up for the month, and we have different things every single day. We try to change it up and keep it interesting for them. Like the bones, we hide them in different spots. Try to do it different every week and don't put them in the same spot. Make it always different so that they're searching and they're thinking instead of just coming out here and leaving.
We will now ride along with Dr. Elizabeth Hammond.
So we're out here in the lion section, and I like to periodically come out and look at the lions myself. The lion keepers are very good about letting me know if there's a health problem with the lions, but I also like to just have my own look and see them when they're doing their sort of normal lion things out on exhibit. I can look at their body condition, and basically that lets me know if they're overweight or underweight, because I don't want animals too overweight and I also don't want them underweight. Again, we can kind of tell by how much they're eating. We also get weights on them, and we basically put the scale in their cage with them, and the animals will go on there. They're trained to go on there. We never actually go in with the animals. We always have a barrier between us and them. Looking at their body condition and their overall health is very important in terms of their medical health. We do a lot of preventative medicine as well. We vaccinate them, we deworm them on a regular basis. With the vaccines, we actually train them to accept a hand injection, which is really great because it's less stressful for them, it's less stressful for me, and then I don't have to anesthetize them to give their annual vaccinations. We also, if we need to medicate them or deworm them, lions are very food motivated, and so we can usually just hide the medication in their food and they eat it. So that's another really nice way for us to medicate them if they have a problem. The other thing we look for is we look for any sort of wounds or bite wounds, because we display them in a large pride, occasionally they have spats and they will injure one another. Usually it's not a bad wound, but nonetheless we want to treat them and make sure that we give them the best veterinary care that we can. So sometimes we'll have to put them on antibiotics and that kind of thing. We also will occasionally we'll anesthetize them so that we can do a full dental evaluation, much like you would if you were to take your dog to the to the vet, and the vet says, oh, we need to make sure these teeth look okay, so you anesthetize them to clean them and evaluate them. Occasionally we have to do a root canal on a lion, and we'll actually call in a specialist to help us with that. So you see, we really do a lot to make sure that these guys have the best care in captivity that they can have. We also, some of these guys are trained for blood draws, and so what we do is we train them to go up against the bars, and we can pull the tail out. We do it safely. We never go in with the animals. We'll pull the tail out, and I can draw blood that way and make sure that all their organs are working okay. And when we do those training sessions, again, we want to make it a positive experience. We also make sure that they can leave at any time. If they don't want to participate someday, that's fine. We'll just come back another day and do it. As you can see, we have the public out here, and it's the law that we have two barriers between the public and the lions. And so we have the fence, and then we also have their vehicles. So those are the two barriers, and again, that's the law. Our safety is our utmost concern here. Lion Country displays these guys in a very unique way, as you can see, because they're in these big open spaces, and that's really great for the lions because they can exercise a lot, they have a lot of room to roam, to explore, they can get away from each other if they're tired of one another, but also they're in a very big family group, which is really what you'd see with lions in the wild. And we're probably the only place in North America that displays lions in this large pride setting.
If I had to pick a favorite animal, I would put Savo right up there at the top. Savo, he's probably one of my favorites of the lions. He is our dominant male. I actually got to watch him be born. I've watched him grow up. And I remember when he was young, the other girls would pick on him, but now he's the boss out here. And our pride works because we have a big, strong, dominant male that kind of takes charge and keeps order within this group.
How many of you remember watching this earlier in the video? Who knows what it is?